All right, and with us is UFC Bantamweight Vince Morales, who will be taking on Nathaniel Wood at UFC London on March 19th. What's up, man? How's it going?
Good, man. Real good. Just getting that last little bit of weight down.
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, it's exciting. You
Yeah.
have a fight just 9 days away. Can
Yeah.
you walk us through, how this fight came about?
Yeah. So let's see, where do I start? We'd finished a long day last Thursday, I believe. That was our sparring day. And I just happened to get on Twitter before going to bed, and I see that um Ludovic, I can't pronounce his name properly, but I see that he had pulled out because of the stuff going on in Ukraine and everything. So I hope all that gets handled for him too. It's a rough situation over there. But yeah, I just kind of I was sitting here with one of my teammates, Cameron Else, and we were just talking about it. And I was like, I was the one that called out Nathaniel Wood back in December. Like, might as well throw my hat in the mix. I've been training hard. I've basically been in camp mode for like a month now. So is what it is. I hit up my manager. He's like, let me see. And then he hit me up a couple hours later and said, it's ours if we want it. I said, let's go to London.
Oh man, that's crazy. That really is crazy. The turn of events now getting have to get geared up for a fight. Thousands and thousands of miles away. What in your mind thought? Yeah, let's take this fight versus waiting for the right opportunity, getting a full camp. What made you want to take this opportunity versus just waiting around?
Waiting for an opportunity, and when an opportunity arises, are it's a little different for me. I've usually I'm kind of in the process of taking opportunities as they come if I'm not making them, right? So like waiting around for one just isn't, it's not really there for me. I also thought this would be a kind of an interesting opportunity to try to renegotiate a new contract, which we got for taking the fight. So
Yes.
here we are. Yes, that keeps me very happy. Yeah. Every time I was thinking about it, there was just way more reasons to take the risk and put myself out there than not to. So I'm very big on in order to be great, you got to do great things, and this falls in line with that. So London, baby.
Oh man, it's gonna be a good one. And you talked about you wanted Wood back in December. Why do you want this matchup so much against Nathaniel Wood?
Well, most of it just at the time for every fight that I've seen, he's tough, he's good, he's durable. He kind of hits all the marks for what it is to be good in the sport. And those are the guys that I'm looking to fight. Those are the guys that really, if you're not challenging yourself, then what are you really proving? So I'm putting myself in that situation to really kind of see where I'm at, and I think this is the kind of stuff that I can pull off and come out on top of. So yeah, just put myself out there, and his nickname's the prospect for a reason. Like I'm ready to fight people that are prospects.
Absolutely. I mean, and
Mhm.
then actually, I heard an interview with him. He actually did an interview with us at on Vegas Odds. He was talking about how he thinks this is actually a better matchup for him because he doesn't have to
Mhm.
go against Ludwig and defend takedowns. And he
Yeah.
actually predicts that he's going to knock her out. I was wondering what your thoughts are on his comments.
Interesting. I kind of figured as much just because the way that they said yes so quickly. Well, the couple things to look at. He's a volume striker. I'm essentially a volume striker. I get in there and fight. He throws a lot of leg kicks. I have a loss with a due to specifically leg kicks. Uh, I figured it matched up. I don't think there's a reason that Bruce Buffer every time they're announcing me, they announce me as like a wrestler, right? People don't know about this for a good reason. This might be one of those fights where you see that because I 100% can I was certain that that's what they were looking at was, oh, cool, this guy's not going to try to grapple me. Homeboy was going to try to grapple me. We can take that out. Cool, you're going to put it right back in because I'm being in your face with it. I'm coming with a lot. It was literally my plan, and every time I'm visualizing it and going through it, I'm catching this guy in a mistake, which he doesn't seem to make many, but the ones that he makes are big, and I'm the kind of person that can see those and capitalize on it. So I think it's gonna be a fight from right off the bell. I can already tell just because I know it's in London. He's and just the striker he is. He likes to get in there and fight right away. It's gonna be a bad move if you try to do that with me. So man, I'm stoked. I think it's gonna be a great fight. For as long as it goes, I don't see it going the distance either. Of course, I got the opposite outcome that he does that he's predicting. But yeah, man, I'm stoked for that. I think it's a more exciting matchup than originally what he had.
Oh, absolutely. I completely agree with you there. And the funny thing is, you talk about how it's an easier matchup on the odds itself.
Mhm.
It's a much closer fight than
Mhm.
the fight before that. You're
Right.
now only like a plus 190 underdog versus
Right.
Ludwig, who's a plus 300. So
Yeah.
going
There's reason
in,
for that as well. So
yeah. So going in, knowing that the guy that had a full camp that was getting ready for this fight was actually a bigger underdog than you are. I mean, I know you don't really take too much into the
mhm.
odds, but like knowing that, does that kind of give you a little bit more of a confidence? Like the odds makers and the people believe in your abilities going into this fight.
Still not the favorite, so they're not seeing what I'm seeing. But it is what it is. I also like I think I'm one of those guys that rises above that, and the odds have never really. I mean, I've always been the underdog for maybe all but maybe two of my fights, and I'm like 16 fights deep right now. So man, I've been the underdog the majority of my career. I've also been the outsider going in fighting people in Boise back when I was on the regional scene. Fighting all the Boise natives because they were trying to build them up. That didn't work then. It's not going to work now.
Yeah, I believe so too. I mean, and how are you going to deal with, the travel, possibly the jet lag, as well as getting acclimated and, also dealing with the crowd and, just the environment.
All those are like, so another thing I'm preaching when I'm always talking about opportunities and challenges and stuff like that is the ability to deal with obstacles. We're not fighters unless we're actually working against obstacles, right? So I'm already going to be in fight mode, just battling against everything you listed, potential jet lag, the travel, the hometown disadvantage, like all that's obstacles for me. And I'll already be in that mode where I'm overcoming those just to even get to the fight. So once I'm in the fight, I'm already in fight mode. Like I've already overcame obstacles. This is just another obstacle that's in the way for me to get my hand raised in the end. So it's is what it is. I like obstacle. When I'm having a smooth camp or a smooth fight week, I hate it. I like when I lose my mouthpiece last minute or like or and anything to where things get a little off track because it's my job to put it on the track that I need it to be on. Right. And that's what the fight is.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and this fight is going to be an absolute banger. We know that you come in there, you throw down, you put on exciting fights. So when it boils down to it, how does this fight play out? How do you get the job done here?
I think without giving away all the game plan, I think you're going to see a little bit of wrestling. You're going to see him work up to his feet. You're going to see me catch him on the feet. He'll turn into the wrestler. I'll make him pay for that.
I love it. I really do love it. And before we let you go, I want to talk about the big pay-per-view that's coming up in April, UFC 273. I want to get your thoughts on the three top fights in that card. Alexander Volkanovski taking on Korean Zombie, as well as Piotr Yan taking on Aljamain Sterling and Gilbert Burns and Hamzat Chimaev. Who do you got winning all three of those fights?
Man, those are all great fights. I think honestly, the fight I'm most excited about is Khamzat and Gilbert Burns. Just because, like, he's still a giant. He's still a question mark for me because I just haven't seen him have to fight. He goes in there and dominates. Like, I want to see him have to dig deep a little bit. I'm hoping Gilbert Burns can be that person. Based on what we've seen, it's probably not going to happen though. Khamzat might go in there and steamroll him again. That's super intriguing to me. I'm picking Chimaev in that one. Yan and Sterling's fun. I'm hoping it's completely different from the first fight because if it's anything like the first fight, then you're looking at Piotr Yan being the champ. And I don't know, like from talking to Aljo and seeing his mindset about everything, he's really feeling that was like him at like a 10%, which is nothing. Which, man, if he can really rise above that, I'm intrigued. I see his work ethic. I like to see what he can do. But that's maybe biased stuff. If we're going based on just what we're looking at skill wise, it's probably the safer bet's probably Piotr Yan. And then Volkanovski, I think somebody like Korean Zombie is tailor made for the best of Volkanovski. I think you're gonna see Volkanovski look just like the champ. And I love Zombie. I'm hoping he can pull some crazy stuff off. I just don't see it happening. I see Volkanovski probably decision win.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. Those are so great fights coming up, UFC 273 there. But You got to fight next week, UFC London on March 19th. But before I let you go, I just want you to, shout out any sponsors you got, your social media, plug it in there. The floor is yours.
Dope. First off, I want to give a big shout out to my management. I wouldn't be where I'm at without Iridium Sports and Jason House. I mean, they do above and beyond, literally whatever I need, they're there for. And it's crazy to think that they have an entire, like probably 150 plus fighters on their roster that are taking care of all in that manner. It's crazy. So giant shout out to them because they helped me with this opportunity right now. And for everybody that's believing in me, taking this for short notice and for what it is. Oh, that's another thing. In the UFC, my short notice fights have been losses. I'm trying to break that trend with this one. That's another thing that in my mind is going in there. And I have a slew of people, my girlfriend, my teammates, my coach for actually going to London because he was trying to avoid that card, but he's like, okay, I think it's a good fight. Let's go do it. So shout out to everybody believing in me in that. A couple main sponsors that I'm working with right now is Kimura Coffee's a big one. NeuroGum's another. Thank you for the support and helping me build my career. Find me on everything at Vendetta135. Tune in next week. London, baby.